Welcome to Our English. I am so excited to have Mr. George Rampersad back with us. How are you?
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm doing fine. And I would prefer if you call me George Rampersad and not Mr. George Rampersad.
George Rampersad. Better?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No, Mr.
No, mister.
No, because I have been missing for a long while.
Oh, I see. I see. So, my question for you today is what inspired you to travel the world?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No. Because I have traveled many places, but it was not an inspiration. It is a series of what you might call accidents
Oh,
in a way that it is a series of unplanned events, which, like most of us in life, this is what happens to us. Events take over and we flow with the tide. So I have not planned anything really, but I have been many places.
yes, you have. So, what was the happy accident that started your first travel experience?
Well, in 1976, I went to work as an aircraft mechanic in the airport in Trinidad.
Oh,
Now, when you are working with the airlines like BWIA, at that time it was called BWIA and so, and TITAS going to Tobago, as an employee, you are allowed to get a certain amount of um, rebate on flights and a certain amount of free flights every year.
oh,
All airlines have it. So I started to travel because I can get these free flights and these rebates and so. So I went from the one country to the other country and so. This is how I started to travel. And of course, when you go to the one country, then you experience something, then you want to go to the next country, you know. And at some point, I was fed up of going to North America because everyone was going to North America. They wanted to go to New York and Miami and Toronto. And I decided to go to Europe. And that is where I went to Europe and I never came back home.
oh. So, you took an opportunity and you flew with it.
Yes, I flew with it in the sense that it was economic, that you could fly for free. In the
Mm-hmm.
70s, at that time in Trinidad, people didn't have very much money. So the average person couldn't fly, to places further than Miami or New York.
Right.
So in that way, this is why I say it was not planned. It was just a series of events that happened that you don't have control over these events. But at the end of the day, you take your chances.
That's right. And it looks like you did well. You're
Well,
you're still in
that
Europe.
that remains to be seen.
Oh. So how do you feel when you actually go back to Trinidad and you land on the island? What is your initial emotional reaction?
Well, what I would always say to people when I get to Trinidad is I am home. I have arrived at home
Yes.
because it matters to me how long you live abroad. When people ask you, what are you going to do for your holiday? You say, I am going home.
Yes.
Isn't your home in Denmark? I say, no. Denmark is my address. My home is Trinidad because for me, your home is where you were born and grown up and you can identify with. Wherever you are living, you are in a way, you are for some kind of foreigner, immigrant, alien, even if you might be a citizen of that country. But at the end of the day, your home, in my case, is Trinidad. So when I get back to Trinidad, the first thing I think is, as soon as the aircraft touches down, I say, yes, I am home. You see?
Understood.
Yeah.
And what do you say when you travel back to your address?
No, but I tell people, they say, when are you going back? I say, well, I'm going back to Denmark in 2 weeks' time.
Uh-huh.
I don't tell them I'm going home in 2 weeks' time.
Understood. Understood. Trinidad is always near and dear to our hearts.
Every morning you get up, you think about it.
Yes.
You might not be missing it, but it is a part of you. You cannot run away from yourself. You
Yes.
see? And this is what I tell people, if you went to China and lived for 45 years, you will not become Chinese. You are Trinidadian living in China. And it is the same way a Trinidadian living in Denmark. I live in Denmark, but I might have a Danish passport or citizenship or so. But at the end of the day, as a person, I am
Mm-hmm.
Trinidadian.
That's
And
right.
that will change, you know.
And what is the first food you want to eat when you reach home?
Rice and dal and dashin bush.
I like pudding and hops bread.
Well, you see, every time when my mom was alive,
Hmm.
every time I go back home and I call her, I tell her I'm coming home this day, this time, and so on, whatever. She said, "What do you want to eat?" I said, "Rice and dal and dashin bush." She
Ooh,
said, "Yeah, but you want something nice?" I said, "Yes, I want rice and dal and dashin bush."
that is something nice.
And even if you don't have the dal, I just take the rice and dashin bush.
Oh,
Main thing is that when I come there, I want to eat it in my hand.
yes.
I don't want no spoon and things to eat this.
No utensils.
Right. And when I get there and I eat this rice and dal and dashin bush, now I am home.
Oh, your belly full, your heart full, everything
It's
full.
more, it's more a heart full.
Yes. God bless you, George Rampersad.
You too.
Thank you. So, my question for you is, have you ever in your lifetime experienced anything similar to this COVID situation?
Not really. No, we haven't. I haven't experienced anything like that. We had around 1972
Hmm.
in Trinidad when I was going to St. Mary's College. We had the outbreak of poliomyelitis. This is when they had to cancel the carnival in 1972. And everyone, but at that time they were coming around in the colleges and schools and so on, giving people the vaccine. But even that, there was no lockdown.
Mm,
There was no shortage of anything, and people were allowed to go out and so. So with regard to the idea that you are afraid to go out, I have never experienced something like this. The only thing I have experienced where there was a lockdown and where there was like state of emergency that they have in Trinidad now on curfew and so. This is in connection with the disturbances they had in Trinidad in 1970,
mm,
where they attempted coup with the army in relation to the whole situation with the Black Power movement and so. But that even that no one was afraid. It was just that there was a lockdown, there was a state of emergency, and there was a curfew. You
hmm.
know, but this one here, there is an unknown enemy that we have never had. It is an unknown and an invisible enemy.
Right.
So I can't say I've ever experienced anything like this.
And would you
And I,
like to share your experience with the COVID?
well, I don't have much experience with the COVID as such because I have just been at home.
Right.
Since this thing started, I I thought before the authorities started to tell people exactly what was going on because a lot of things were being hidden from the public because they didn't know and they didn't want the population to panic.
Hmm.
But I told myself, because I never trust the authorities because they always lie to you. Because they, of course, they don't they don't want the population to panic. But
Hmm.
if these things were happening in China and so I realized, I say, hey, we don't know what is happening. So at that point in time, I don't believe anything what I'm being told.
Right, right.
I stay inside. Okay. And since February, last year, 2020, even though they were still talking about the Chinese flu. And so I said, hey, I don't know anything about no Chinese flu. A Chinese flu is 8 hours away from Denmark by air, you see. So I have been staying away from people
Right.
and taking more than the necessary precautions in relation to what the authorities have been saying, because many of them they didn't know what to say, and many of them have been lying.
Right. We don't always get the whole story.
So personally, I say, hey, if I try to take care of myself, me and my wife, we try to take care of ourselves. Let us see what happens. So don't go and talk to anybody too close and stay away from this and that, and
Right.
go to the supermarket and whatever and buy, and then you come back home and you stay at home.
And put all your clothes to wash, sanitize everything.
So, for example, I have not been now, it is almost a year and a half. I have not been to a restaurant, I have not been to the cinema, I have not been to a cafe, I have not been to a bar, and I have not been out playing music anywhere.
Your favorite thing to do.
Yes. But, when you go to play music, you are in a situation where you have many people and they are drinking and they are. So, this is what I am doing. I'm trying to take care of myself and my wife.
That's right. And what I say is we pay all this rent, we pay all this mortgage to quickly run on vacation here, there, and everywhere.
Mm,
And we have everything we need at home and we're
exactly.
safe.
Mm. But a lot of people they can't suffice with going to the supermarket and buying a beer and coming home and drink it. They want to go to a bar where there are 50 other people who they don't know to drink this one beer.
Right.
You know,
Understood.
you are putting yourself on the front line of something you don't know.
Yes.
You know,
Agreed.
and all what the authorities have been saying, all what the experts, the scientists, and so have been saying, people are going against this because we need to be free. Well, I don't need to be free. I need to be alive.
True. But you're free
So,
in your own house.
well, I have always been free because freedom is a state of mind.
That's right.
You know, when Nelson Mandela was in prison on Robben Island, he said he was free, but they had put him in prison, but he was free. You see, because for me, freedom is a state of mind. I am free to think, to say what I want, to write my music, and so.
That's
But
right.
maybe I can't go down to the bar down the road. But I say, hey, I have never been to the bar down the road anyhow.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So, did you have any epiphanies while you were in your mental state of freedom?
No, I wouldn't say an epiphany, but you get you get ideas.
Okay.
Okay, you get inspiration. No, I
Yes.
wouldn't go as far as calling it divine inspiration. But sometimes you're just sitting down there and thinking about something, and then you get ideas.
Yes.
So this usually comes to me in the form of an idea for a song. So, for example, when I started to see what was happening with all this COVID and so, I decided to write a song because I could see what was going to happen to people. So I decided to write this song where I said, for example, no song, no music, no flowers will follow those who have died. And this is what is happening
Right.
because you can't even go to your own family's funeral.
Right.
You see? And I was looking at this, that these are the things that are going to happen. No, this is not an epiphany. It is just an idea that you get this inspiration
A
as an,
realization.
yes, you see? So the next thing I thought was, hey, all these people I could see on television or whatever, that all these people are working so hard. And the so-called essential workers were not the people who had offices with their name on the door where you had to make an appointment to go and see them.
Right.
All of them went home. The essential people were the people who were working in the hospitals carrying out the dead bodies, and the people who are selling medicine in the pharmacy and things like that.
Yes.
The supermarket worker who is packing the shelf suddenly becomes an essential worker. and all the people with their big degrees and their master's degrees and their minister and their were working at home.
Yes.
You see, so I decided I would write a song to say thank you to these people, to the truck drivers, the ambulance drivers. Is this an epiphany? Is this an inspiration? I don't know, but it is just that you react to the things that are happening around you.
Well, it's coming from your heart, and you are a very grateful person. You're a very thankful person, and you
Well, we have
care.
to be thankful for.
Yes, you have a very big heart.
We tend in this modern age to complain. We don't think what we are thankful for.
Right.
See? So, for example, yesterday evening I had a problem with my car.
Oh,
Okay, and my first reaction was that I have to get this fixed. But then I said, hey, do you know this is not a problem? Because do you know how many people in the world don't have a car?
right.
I am privileged to have a car, and I feel lucky. And then when I address this, I say, okay, well, then I have to go and fix this problem. You see? And we need to be thankful for what we have. That you could talk to me, I could talk to you. That
Yes.
we are healthy, we are not in a hospital trying to
Knock
get
on
off.
wood.
We need to be thankful.
Yes.
But in this modern society, people tend to complain rather than focus on being thankful for what they have.
Yes, and also your car not working is a problem, yes, but you are looking for the solution. So you focus on the solution, not the problem.
Not a problem. You see?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is an outlook on life that, especially in Western society, a lot of people could try and think about the idea that let us find a solution to whatever problem we have and also be thankful for what we have.
Yes.
If you are thankful for what you have, you will always find solutions.
Yes. Have you heard the quote? Want nothing, need nothing equals have everything.
No, I haven't heard that, but I think that says it all. It says it all. It is true. Maybe I will use this in a song.
Ooh!
So
Remember to
then
say
I have
Priscilla
to pay,
Ramcharan.
then I have to pay you royalties, 10%.
I love it. So, any last message for the viewers? Anything you want to share to the future generations?
I don't know if I want to share anything for the future generations, because if I start sharing things for future generations, I will start feeling old.
Oh, sorry,
And
George.
people look at me as being old, say, hey, who's this old man talking to me? He doesn't know anything
No.
about my generation and my future. But at
Okay.
the same time, what I try to remember, and maybe the people after me would remember, is that in Trinidad we had a saying, the old people used to say.
Mm-hmm.
And there were lots of sayings that the old people had, which basically were hundreds of years old proverbs.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it was good common sense, which at that time was common. Common sense isn't common anymore.
And it's
But
free. Common
yeah.
sense is free.
Um, so, for example, I would tell people, don't spend more than you earn. Respect your fellow man.
Mm-hmm.
Love your neighbor. I don't have any more to tell the people, because if you can do this, then you have ensured the next generation will survive.
Very true.
You
And
see,
just remember, age is a state of mind, also, eh?
I thought it was a number on your birth
You know
certificate,
what?
but I don't look at my date of birth anymore, because I tell people I tell people at my age, there's nothing to celebrate. I don't celebrate birthdays.
You celebrate life.
Well, every day.
True.
Yeah. So birthdays are not important. But I will tell you something.
Tell me.
I have never had a birthday party.
What?
Hmm. Because when I was growing up, we were too poor in Trinidad. No one had birthday parties. And then at some point, you started to get a little, work and job and money and so, but there was no tradition for
Mm,
having birthday
interesting.
parties. So, for example, even now, after all these years, I can afford a birthday party or I can afford to buy a gift for someone. But if my brother or my sister, who are older than me,
Hmm.
it is their birthday, I wouldn't buy a gift and send it to them. It is not because I don't want to use the money, I have the money, but it is that we have no tradition for buying this gift and sending this gift for birthdays, for
Birthday
Christmas, and
cakes.
you see, we don't have it. And I say, then if you are trying to start this, you say, "Oh, it is a kind of pseudo celebration. We have never celebrated in this way.
Understood.
You are thankful for that you have survived another year, and that is fine.
I love that.
You can take the same money you're going to buy something for your sister and you give it to the International Red Cross. They can help some refugees in Sudan or somewhere. This
Someone
is how,
who would benefit,
yes.
someone who is in need. That's so, I told you, you have a very big heart.
I don't know. Some people tell me I'm heartless.
Don't listen to people.
No, I don't listen to people. This is my problem.
Okay.
Oh,
I see. Well, George, this has been an amazing, amazing pleasure to have you back. And I hope you come back again.
well,
Yes?
it is also my pleasure to be on your program.
Oh, very
And
nice.
I appreciate that you call me and ask me to come sometimes in between and so.
Always.
And keep up the good work.
You too, buddy. And we'll look out for that song.
Well, it's on the way.
Yay! And
It's
look
on
out
the
for my new book also.
All right. And keep the good work with the mango and the mango takari and the mango and the magic mango tree.
Yes. Thank you. And you know, mango takari is my weakness.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So he is not a doubles fan, he's a mango takari. Anyhow, if you ever run into problems and you cannot get mango, you can make the takari from Pomsite.
Where I go get pomsite?
I don't know where you get mango.
I just get mango.
Well, you see. Well, then you have to find, you remember the tune? I want a penny to buy mango there,
Yes.
mango. Give me a penny to buy mango ve, mango tin, mango dudu suse maka, save u all for me. Mango dudu suse maka, save all for me. Mango, mango, mango. You know it?
Woo! I'll send some for you. And if not, use a green Granny Smith apple. You will get some anchar.
No, well, I just use them to make kuchila here in Denmark.
Yes, 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 yes. That's what I meant.
The green meat, the young ones. I
Yes.
just take them, cut, grate them, dry them in the sun in the summer, and make kuchila.
You see, you well know what to do.
Yeah, well, that's because my mother teach me. Anyhow, nice talking to you.
You too, beautiful singing. You
Okay,
warmed my heart. My
all right.
heart is melting.
Take care.
Say
All
peace
right,
out.
and keep safe.
Bye, George.
All right, nice.
Nice.